Welcome everybody to Africa vlog number 3, and this one is covering the Zimbabwe and Zambia portions of our trip as we head on to the spectacular Victoria Falls. This morning marks day 7 of our Intrepid tour and the penultimate day of the itinerary. Started with an early border crossing from Botswana to Zimbabwe, and we spent quite a few hours in the car. While it's a long journey, it's so much easier than organising everything yourselves, plus the chance to see the wildlife and stunning scenery was so worth it. Alright, we're at the Botswanan border, gonna get our passport stamped in this, 25-degree weather?
Yeah.
It's getting hotter and hotter.
This is TI, I think.
And then we're going to go to Zimbabwe and get our visas. Crossing the borders, especially into Zimbabwe, took quite a bit of time, and as a Brit, I discovered quite quickly we are charged much more higher visa fees thanks to the historical relations between the countries. We also made sure to buy a double entry visa since we'd be crossing into Zambia for the next day, which added to the cost. So definitely keep this in mind if you're also planning a similar trip. We then arrived much later at the campsite in the afternoon, which is Shearwater Explorers Village. This was a permanent tented accommodation and it was surprisingly clean and comfortable with loads of great facilities on site. We liked it so much we actually booked a hotel chalet room here for the night after the tour. That afternoon, we joined the tour group for a brewery tour and tasting, which was a lot of fun for my boyfriend in particular because he got all of my beers. After that, we then freshened up in our tent and got ready for dinner, which turned out to be full of surprises. We just had a nice drink at the brewery, and now we're going to go freshen up a little bit before dinner. This is where we're staying, the Shearwater Explorers Village, and we're going to actually stay here another night to enjoy the falls after the tour is done.
1 hour later.
No way. As you saw, dinner included some unexpected entertainment from yours truly because I was pulled on stage courtesy of the Intrepid Travel team for a belated birthday dance-off. It was definitely an unforgettable moment, even though it was one I was not planning for, and we actually enjoyed a dinner with an actual performance by the staff there and headed on to bed early. The next day, we said farewell to our tour group and carried on with our own excursion to the Devil's Pool, which meant crossing the border into Zambia again for another passport stamp. All right, greetings from Zambia. Just crossed the border. Very speedy, visa-free for Brits. And now we're going to go take a ride to the Devil's Pool. And once in Zambia, we made our way to Livingstone Island, where Dr. David Livingstone saw the falls. Just checked in on the Zambian side. So you've got my life jackets, and now we're going to ride on the Zambezi to Livingston Island. To the Devil's Pool swim. The water levels were quite high at the time of going into Devil's Pool, so we actually swam in the Angel's Pool instead. Experience was just as incredible. We took a speedboat ride to the island with breathtaking views. It was such hype to see the rainbow before we saw the falls themselves. And the thrill of swimming right on the edge of one of the world's greatest natural wonders was just amazing. The guides were also incredible. They helped with copious photos and videos and made us feel safe even without equipment themselves, so props to them. I think they took over 300 separate pieces of content, which I've narrowed down just a couple of clips here. And after everyone got their time in the pool, we explored the rest of the island on foot and ended the tour with a delicious breakfast overlooking the falls. I think the entire excursion took about 4 hours, including transfers. And once we returned to the hotel, we checked into our new room where we relaxed before heading out for the dinner cruise. Here's a quick room tour. All right, we are in our room, or should I say hut chalet. This is the bedroom. Well, I guess this whole thing is just one room. Then we've got the big mirror and a beautiful big bathroom and shower. Yeah, stunning. Super stunning. And we get our own little front yard and some other huts and everything down here in the village.
Much later.
The dinner cruise was incredible. We had 4 courses and free-flowing drinks for under £75 per person, which I thought was quite fair. The quality of food and service and views were amazing too. We spotted some hippos on land, as you can see, and some crocodiles in the water, which was so cool. The staff also performed some traditional songs, which added a really lovely touch to the evening. Super romantic, relaxing, and so worth it.
Later.
Back to the room after our cruise, and there's a beautiful birthday cake waiting for me and champagne. Aww. Don't I have the best boyfriend in the world, huh, folks? We are about to tuck into the wonderful champagne that my boyfriend spoiled us with as a surprise. The cake is going to be staying until tomorrow morning, where we can actually get a knife and actually have some room to eat, because we just obviously had the 4-course meal at the wonderful Zambezi River cruise, which I highly recommend, by the way. It's absolutely stunning, so worth the money, and honestly, you will not regret it. But it was such a lovely surprise, and I can't wait to rewatch this and remember this moment.
No.
So sweet.
The next morning.
The next morning, after breakfast and digging into the surprise cake, we headed off for our final tour of Victoria Falls before we were going to catch a flight out that evening, and that was a helicopter ride. We're going to go on a scenic flight over the falls. I'm very excited. Just getting our briefing and we're going to put our masks on and get going. We were lucky to get a private helicopter ride, and this lasted about 15 minutes. We soared over the falls and the surrounding areas. Spanning nearly a mile wide and dropping 108 meters, the falls were spectacular from the air. The spray and the double rainbow also added to the magic. It was such a pinch-me experience. Having done a similar helicopter tour at Niagara Falls, I can confidently say this was so much better. We got much closer, it was way more breathtaking, and it was also my boyfriend's first time in a helicopter, so it made it even more special, and it was the perfect way to cap off this part of the trip. We just did a helicopter ride. Excuse the disheveled hair, but it was awesome. You enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
So good.
After the helicopter ride, we stopped by the Three Monkeys restaurant for a delicious lunch before heading back to the hotel. We then collected our luggage, relaxed for a bit while catching up on the House of the Dragon finale, and waited for our airport transfer. So next up, we head to Rwanda and Uganda, which was honestly the most chaotic part of our trip. You'll see why, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and me and the suitcase will catch you in the next one.